Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. Today I'll be showing off the Volcanic deck. This is a deck that recently got supported in the Fire Duelist set, which I realize is not a great set, but who cares, new Volcanics. So without further ado, let's hop right into the video. First up, we play 3 copies of Volcanic Trooper. This is a new ultra rare from the set that reads, if this card is normal or special summoned, add a Volcanic card from deck to hand. That's right, we have a searcher now. You can discard 1 card to special summon 1 bomb token with 1000 attack and defense, Pyro Fire level 1, to your opponent's field. Each time 1 is destroyed by battle, its controller takes 500 damage. This is a new concept that the deck focuses around, is giving your opponent these bomb tokens and then destroying them so that you can then start burning them for damage. This is fantastic. We have a generic or a searcher for the deck now. So fantastic card, definitely an absolute 3 of. We then play 3 copies of Volcanic Rocket. Volcanic Rocket's a pretty old card. When this card is summoned, add 1 Blaze Accelerator card from deck or grave to hand. Fantastic card. You can get your new Volcanic Blaze Accelerator and then start most of your plays from there. But it's just a fantastic search card for the deck. Play 3 copies of Scattershot. Volcanic Scattershot reads, when this card is sent to the grave, inflict 500 damage to your opponent. If this card is sent to the grave for the effect of a Blaze Accelerator card, you can send 2 Volcanic Scattershots from your hand or deck to the graveyard to destroy all monsters your opponent controls. That will then, of course, trigger your other 2 Volcanic Scattershots, so in the end you will destroy all monsters your opponent controls and deal them 1,500 points of damage. Then, if they happen to have a bomb token, you'll deal 2,000 points of damage. It's a really great card, and with stuff like your Blaze Accelerator Reload, you can trigger it on your opponent's turn, which just makes it even better. Of course, what Volcanic deck would this be if you didn't play 3 copies of Shell? Level 1 Pyro Monster. Once per turn while this is in the graveyard, pay 500 life points, add 1 Volcanic Shell from deck to hand. This effectively just allows you to always have a discard fodder, whether it's for your Twin Twisters or your Reload. It's just a fantastic 3 of to ensure that you always have consistency. We of course then play 3 copies of the N-Archetype Kaiju, which is Volcanic Queen. Cannot be normal summoned or set. This card can only be special summoned from your hand to your opponent's side of the field by attributing 1 monster your opponent controls. If you special summon this card, you cannot normal summon or set the turn this was summoned. It has the effect that once per turn you can send 1 other card you control to the graveyard to inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. And during the end phase, it does have a cost of either tribute 1 other monster in the field or take 1,000. So this is a great card that not only can out some problematic monsters on your opponent's side of the field, but also gives them that ultimatum of take 1,000 per turn or tribute 1 of your own monsters. Really great card. It's searchable now. Just a fantastic way to out some problem monsters that could not deal with prior to. Play triple Rimfire. This is another new card. If it's sent to the grave, activate 1 of its effects, but you can only use each of the following effects of Rimfire once per turn. You can banish this card from grave, send a Volcanic monster from your deck to the graveyard, except Volcanic Rimfire. Or banish a Blaze Accelerator card from your face-up field or graveyard. And if you do, place 1 Blaze Accelerator continuous spell or trap from your hand or deck face-up on the field. So this card, when cycled or sent to the grave by something like Fire Ejection, can then immediately send a Volcanic Shell to the graveyard so that you can start cycling your shells. Pretty good card, plus it's level 1, so you can use it for your Volcanic Blaze Accelerator. Now, for the new boss monster of the deck, Volcanic Emperor. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand or grave by banishing 3 Pyro monsters or 1 Blaze Accelerator card from your face-up field and or grave. You can only special summon Volcanic Emperor once per turn. When summoned this way, you can inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each banished Pyro monster, then set a Volcanic trap directly from your deck. Each time your opponent special summons monster, inflict 500 damage to them. So, If you summon this by using its Banish the Pyro effect, you're automatically getting 1,500 damage to your opponent. Then you can search a trap. Usually I go for Volcanic Inferno, which I'll show you all later. And then it taxes them for summoning. This is a boss monster. This is fantastic. I love Volcanic Emperor. 3,100 attack, so it can punch over. It's just, this is what we needed. This is a good boss monster. Speaking of bad boss monsters, I do still play one Doomfire. Mainly because you can summon it during your opponent's turn with something like Volcanic Ignition to then force them to attack it and take damage. It's a very weird, funny battle trick, but I do still play the one Doomfire. Doomfire's effect reads, he can only be special summoned by sending a Tri-Blaze Accelerator, which your Blaze Accelerator reload is treated as. When it's on, during your opponent's battle phase, your opponent must attack this monster with any attack position monsters they control. When this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, destroy all monsters your opponent controls, and inflict 500 damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed by this effect. So it can be funny. You can get some cheesy wins off this, but worst case scenario, you send it off of a fire ejection. Moving on to the spells. We play triple Volcanic Blaze Accelerator. This is another new card from the Fire Duelist set. You can activate this by sending a Blaze Accelerator from your hand, deck, or face-up field to the graveyard. Normally, your send for this is going to be the Blaze Accelerator reload, just to get it in the graveyard. Once per turn during the main phase, special a Volcanic monster from your hand. That's pretty good, considering you can special either a Trooper or a Rocket, and then continue getting boost from it. Once per turn, you can target a face-up monster your opponent controls, send a level 1 Pyro from your deck to the grave to destroy it. Usually, you'll go Rimfire. So if you have a bomb token on your opponent's field, you can then send Rimfire to destroy that monster and deal them 500 damage, as well as getting some boost by getting a Shell Engrave from Rimfire. Next up, we'll play another 3 of one of the new spells. Triple Fire Ejection. Send a Pyro monster from your deck to the grave. Then, if you sent a Volcanic monster to the grave, you can apply one of these effects. You can either inflict damage to your opponent equal to the level times 100, or special a bomb token to your opponent's field. And bomb tokens, of course, each time they're destroyed, your opponent takes 500. Normally, you'll send a Rimfire off this. You can occasionally send, like, Doomfire if you just need that extra push of damage. But normally, you'll send Rimfire, which gives you a Shell Engrave, as well as giving your opponent a bomb token that you can out later on in the turn. Volcanics don't care about extra deck, so I play 3 extra F. Then I play 2 Twin Twisters just to out Problem Back Row, and 1 Called By because Ash Blossom is still a card. Then we play 3 Blaze Accelerator Reload to start off the traps. It becomes Tri-Blaze Accelerator, where on the spell and trap card zone. During either player's main phase, send a Volcanic card from your hand to the grave. If you do, draw a card. You can only use this effect once per turn. During either player's main phase, you can banish this card from your grave to send a Volcanic card from deck to grave. This is how you trigger your Scatter Shot on your opponent's turn, by sending it off of the reload, by banishing reload from grave, to send Scatter Shot from deck to grave, to then do the pop. Really great card, definite 3 of. New trap from the set, Volcanic Ignition. You can activate one of these effects, but you can only use each effect once per turn. You can take a Volcanic monster from your deck, either add it to your hand or special summon it, ignoring summoning conditions, but return it to the hand in the end phase. This is where you would summon your Volcanic Doomfire from deck. You can also summon your Emperor, or if you just want another search, Trooper. A lot of great targets. Its other effect allows you to target a Pyro monster in the field to inflict damage to your opponent equal to that monster's original attack, or if you target a monster you control, that damage is halved. Here, you normally want to target a Queen that you have given your opponent, which will then burn them for 2,500 damage. Or you can target something big, like your Emperor, to deal 17, or not 17. It's 3150, so you'll deal 1550, which is still a decent amount of damage. And finally, we play 1 copy of Inferno. When your opponent activates a monster effect on the field, banish a Pyro monster from your grave to inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Then if you banish a Volcanic monster, you can negate that effect. During your opponent's end phase, you can target up to 2 of your Volcanic monsters that are banished or in your graveyard, place them on the bottom of the deck in any order. You can only use each effect once per turn. So this does give you a way to cycle back your shells and your scatter shots, which is something the deck desperately needed. Really great card, gives Volcanics a searchable negate, so of course I highly approve of that. Without anything else, I really love this deck. I've been playtesting it a lot, and you can end on Emperor turn 3 pretty consistently. It's super fun. It's not as floodgatey as the deck used to be. So yeah, definitely check it out for yourselves. And as always, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.